Seeds of Wisdom RV and Economic Updates Sunday morning, June 15, 25. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Good morning. Dinar recaps. Israel-Iran conflict could trigger economic maelstrom affecting millions. The ongoing conflict between Israel and Iran threatens to severely disrupt global markets and may cascade into a broader geopolitical and economic crisis. At the heart of this threat lies the Strait of Hormuz, a critical choke point for global oil flows, which Iran is considering closing in response to Israeli military actions. Iran-Israel conflict might upend the world's oil markets. Geopolitical tensions are once again shaking world markets. The confrontation between Iran and Israel, if escalated further, could drastically impact global oil supply, sending prices soaring and reviving oil's title as black gold. The Strait of Hormuz, gateway from the Persian Gulf, handles 20% of the world's oil exports. Iran is threatening to close the strait in retaliation for Israeli military strikes. A closure would represent a global energy shock with vast ripple effects on industry and supply chains, according to reports. Sardar Esmail Kosari, commander of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, has declared that Iran would make the best decision with determination regarding the potential closure of the strait. Security analyst Claude Maniquet warned that this move would be a disaster for Europe, impacting energy markets across the globe. A 20% reduction in global oil flow could spark a massive spike in oil prices, disruptions to global supply chains, industrial slowdowns in Europe and Asia. Oil already reacting as risk mounts. The markets are already pricing in these geopolitical risks. Since the early bombings, oil futures have surged past $70. Reaching as high as $7. Volatility is expected to increase as conflict risk grows. Crude oil prices could skyrocket if military escalation shuts down transport routes. The possibility of regional expansion, as other nations act to counterbalance the fallout of a closure, could magnify the economic turmoil, potentially triggering a global recession. A global flashpoint with far-reaching consequences. The ultimate outcome hinges on Iran's willingness to escalate its military capacity to block the Strait of Hormuz. The international community's response to preserve oil flows. While nothing is certain, the risk of an economic chain reaction is substantial. Even short-term disruptions in Hormuz could cause multi-billion-dollar losses, especially in energy-dependent industries. Bottom line, the world watches closely as a regional military conflict risks morphing into a global economic crisis. A single act, like the closure of a vital oil corridor, could send shockwaves through financial markets, energy infrastructure, and geopolitical alliances. Vietnam joins BRICS as 10th partner in push for stronger global South ties. Vietnam's entry into the BRICS framework marks a major milestone in the bloc's rise as a global power center. The move expands BRICS partner network to 10 nations, reinforcing its drive to reshape the global economic and governance architecture in favor of the global South. BRICS welcomes Vietnam as 10th partner. Brazil, which currently chairs BRICS, announced on June 13 that Vietnam has joined as the 10th official BRICS partner country. This decision follows the structure laid out at the 16th BRICS summit in Kazan, October 2024, where the partner country framework was introduced to allow strategic cooperation with aligned nations outside of full membership. The government of Brazil welcomes the decision of the Vietnamese government. Vietnam joins other partner nations: Belarus, Bolivia, Cuba, Kazakhstan, Malaysia, Nigeria, Thailand, Uganda, and Uzbekistan. The current full BRICS membership includes Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, UAE, Ethiopia, Indonesia, and Iran. Vietnam's involvement illustrates deepening ties with the global South, emphasizing cooperation in economic development, multilateral governance reform, political and diplomatic coordination, strategic weight. Vietnam's role in BRICS vision. Vietnam's entry into BRICS reflects its increasing geopolitical and economic influence. Brazil highlighted this explicitly. With a population of almost 100 million and a dynamic economy deeply integrated into global Value chains. Vietnam stands out as a relevant actor in Asia. Supporters of BRICS expansion say Vietnam contributes economic scale and growth momentum, innovation capacity across digital and industrial sectors. Strategic geographical positioning in Southeast Asia. While some critics argue that enlarging the bloc could strain policy coordination, advocates maintain that diverse perspectives like Vietnam's can strengthen BRICS, global relevance and diplomatic agility. Bottom line. Vietnam's inclusion as a BRICS partner signals a consolidating shift in global power dynamics, boosting South-South cooperation and reinforcing a move toward a multipolar world order. As BRICS expands, the bloc's ability to influence economic and governance norms continues to rise. Listen to the full version on the official DinarReport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Source: Dinar Recaps.